Black Light, a new thriller by Michael Gilbert. Black Light.
For heaven's sake, must we have that thing on at breakfast?
What's that?
For God's sake, switch it off! I said I should have thought that breakfast was one meal which could be eaten in silence.
I was entertaining myself with a little light music until your lordship deigned to put in an appearance.
His lordship has deigned. Let's have a bit of hush.
Am I allowed to breathe?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
All right, I'm sorry.
So I should think.
That stuff gets on my nerves.
But you're in the Secret Service. You shouldn't have any nerves. Bond didn't have nerves.
For the umpteenth time, I'm not in the Secret Service. And I hope you don't go around telling people I am.
Oh, of course I don't.
I'm in MI5, which is quite different. Can I have another cup of coffee?
It'll be cold. What do you do? Oh, don't tell me if you don't trust me.
Don't be silly. We look after internal security.
Arrest spies.
A special branch arrests them. We detect them.
Well, I think you ought to join the other lot.
Which other lot?
Well, the ones who get sent abroad and carry guns and have special allowances.
Even if I were equipped to do that sort of work, which I'm not. It's too late now. Ugh.
Told you it was cold. You ought to get up sooner. Could you let me have a fiver? I'm nearly broke.
Well, what do you want a fiver for?
I've got to have my hair done, for one thing.
Couldn't it wait?
If you want me to go about looking like a scarecrow...
Well, I don't want you to go around looking like a scarecrow. It's just that if the money isn't there, it isn't there.
Well, I think you ought to get a job with some prospects in it.
At 48? Damn lucky to have this job.
It's a dead end.
Pays the bills.
You're a nobody in a big organisation. They don't even know you're there. That man we met at that party, what was his name? Oh, Brigadier Partridge. He's your boss, isn't he?
Yes.
He didn't even know your name. You can't be very important if the boss doesn't even know your name.
God's sake,
You're an office boy with an office boy's salary. And I'm stuck all day in this lousy flat with nothing to do and no money to do it with.
You don't like it. You've got a remedy, haven't you?
Oh, now, Michael, you know
I shall probably be late tonight. The office boys at MI5 are rather overworked just now. Good morning, Sergeant Major.
Good morning, Mr. Templeton.
Yeah, they're hard at it again.
Practicing for the trooping. Lift, sir. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Were you looking for something?
Yes, I was. I was looking for the Secret Service.
Oh, I'm afraid we don't keep it here, sir.
Oh, dear. I was distinctly told. Are you sure you're not the Secret Service?
Quite sure, sir. It wouldn't perhaps have been the civil service you wanted.
No, definitely secret. When I spoke to this man about it...
Which man was that?
I don't know his name. It was in a public house, actually. He seemed a very knowledgeable sort of man. He said the people you want are MI5 and gave me this address.
Oh. Would you excuse me a moment, sir? Mr. Templeton?
Yes?
O'Farrell here. We've got a visitor who seems to think he's got something he wants to pass on to MI5.
Oh, yeah. What sort of person?
He's an elderly party. Might be an inventor, perhaps.
Well, I'm terribly busy this morning. Couldn't you head him off?
I don't think he'll be happy till he's told someone, sir.
Well, all right. Send him up.
All fixed, sir. Take a lift to the third floor. Room 370 along the passage to the left. Ask for Mr. Templeton.
Is he the head of MI5?
He's in it, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Take this chip. Now, don't lose it, or you'll never get out again.
It was very good of you to see me, Mr.
Templeton.
Mr. Templeton.
What can we do for you, Mr. Reynolds?
Professor Reynolds, actually. I am, or was, a professor of mechanical and applied sciences.
An inventor?
Not really. My job is turning other people's inventions into concrete form. Most inventors are so impracticable.
And is it someone else's invention you want to tell me about?
In a way, yes. It's rather difficult.
Well, suppose you tell me all about it.
Well, it started more than a year ago. No, come to think of it, it was almost 2 years ago. I'd given up my university post and had come back to England. I was a bit of a loose end.
I think you ought to get a job with some prospects in it.
At 48?
Of course, I jumped at the chance. It was an interesting project. I suppose I ought to have inquired a bit more closely into the bona fides of the people involved. But I've always had a weak spot for educated Frenchmen. I didn't like the other one. He was a bit of a bully.
You're a nobody in a big organization. They don't even know you're there. What was his name? Brigadier Partridge. He's your boss, isn't he?
And then I learned to my horror that they were planning to kill Sir James Flint with it.
I see, yes. Kill Sir James Flint. Yes. And how would they do that?
Just focus it on him. It's deadly.
Focus.
The ray.
Focus the ray on Sir James Flint. Yes. Yes, I see. And it's deadly, you say?
It wouldn't be immediately if he was hit in the arm or leg, but any central part of the body, you can visualize what would happen.
Only too easily, Professor.
You may say, of course, there wouldn't be many chances to use it. Sir James is not a public figure. He remains carefully out of sight for the most part. In fact, he spends most of his time in his office saying no to people who want money, as I'm only too well aware. But don't forget one thing. He's also a lay reader.
A lay reader? Yes, I'd forgotten that.
I once heard him myself, oozing hypocrisy. Do you know what he took as his text? Blessed are the poor. And he earns a 5-figure salary. And his wife's got money.
Well, Professor, it was very good of you to come and see us. Very public-spirited. I've made a careful note of what you told me, and you can be certain we'll look into it and take all the necessary steps.
I do hope so. The thought of the Reynolds prismatic ray being used as a murder instrument fills me with horror.
And don't forget your umbrella.
Oh, thank you.
And hand in your pass at the door.
I'll do that. Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. Hello, Bruce. God, start to a Monday morning.
What's up? Who was that cove you were talking to?
A professor.
What does he profess?
Mechanical and applied science. And he's invented, wait for it, a death ray.
Oh, Lord, not another. What was his name?
Professor... Damn it, I've forgotten. I'd have written it down. Not on my mind this morning.
Trouble on the home front?
Sort of. What was it? Began with an R. Roberts. Rogers.
I shouldn't bother. When you put your report in, say a nutcase who refused to give his name.
No, I'll remember it in a moment.
Ah, well now. And did you speak to Mr. Templeton?
Yes, I spoke to him. I wasn't sure he took it all in. He seemed rather absent-minded.
Now, they're like that in MI5, sir. Deceptive. They like you to think they're stupid, but really they're very clever. Every word you said, he'll be turning over in his mind, making deductions, taking steps.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Ah, there you are, Professor. Thought I recognized you. Jump aboard now.
Crusoe, what are you doing here?
Come along in, and I'll explain.
What is all this?
Mon cher professeur, que nous sommes heureux de vous voir.
It's very good of you, Buster.
An office boy. An office boy's job. Damn it, she may be right. Listen to every egghead who comes along with a rabid death ray. For God's sake, death rays went out with Phillips Oppenheim.
What have you been up to, Michael?
Up to? Oh, nothing, Bruce. As usual.
Well, I hope you've got a good alibi.
Why?
The Brigadier wants to see you at once.
Oh?
And he's in a filthy temper.
Well, that was all it needed. Well, I better get along before the old man starts biting bits out of his desk.
Ah, Templeton. Come in, sit down. This report on Professor Reynolds. A bit short on detail, isn't it?
He didn't seem to me to be worth a great deal of our time and effort, sir.
Eh? You say you think his name is Reynolds. Might think, don't you know?
Well, I put it that way because I had the impression he might be giving a false name.
What made you think that?
He had an evasive manner.
You asked for proof of identity, driving license, season ticket?
No, sir.
Why not?
It didn't occur to me, sir.
Did you ask for his address or his telephone number?
No, sir.
His manner was so evasive that you were afraid he might give you a false one. Was that it? And that it would be a waste of time and effort writing it down?
Yes, sir. I was quite certain he was a crank, and I dismissed him from my mind as soon as possible.
So all we know about this gentleman is that his name is, or might be, Reynolds, and that he was, or might have been, a professor of mechanical and applied science at some university. You didn't, I suppose, ask him which university?
No, sir.
I believe there are now 40 in the British Isles.
I don't think it was an English university.
Oh?
He said something about giving up his university post and coming back to England.
Well, that widens the field a bit, doesn't it? I don't suppose there are more than 4,000 universities in the world, but it leaves us with a bit of a problem.
A problem, sir?
How are we going to find him?
Find him, sir?
That's what I said, find him. And damn quickly.
Why, sir?
Because we just had a tip from a usually reliable source in Fleet Street that someone is going to kill Sir James Flint.
Kill?
Kill, murder, assassinate, bump off. In public. Probably within the next week. Your professor may be a silly crank, and it may be the long arm of coincidence, or it may be April Fool's Day. But I can tell you this. If it does happen after we've been warned and we do nothing about it, there's going to be trouble with a capital T. Heads are going to roll, Templeton, and I'll give you one guess whose head is going to roll first and furthest.
I see, sir.
I doubt it. I doubt if you can even begin to see the stupidity and slackness of your conduct this morning. Our job here is the safety of the realm above all its subjects. And that is a job you have fallen down. You must do what you can to pick up the pieces. You're not to let Sir James Flint out of your sight for the next 7 days.
So you mean in his office, in his house?
Of course, I don't mean in his office or his house. The threat is to kill him in public. When he leaves his office, you will follow him. And if he goes to any form of public entertainment or function, you will be there. You'll be equipped with portable radio, which will be netted to the special branch. And if you see Professor Reynolds, you will call him up.
You've got to do what?
Follow Sir James about.
Why?
Because I'm the only person who can recognize this professor.
But from what you told me, he wanted to stop them killing Sir James Flint. Who is he, anyway?
Some egghead in the Treasury.
Well, why would anyone want to kill him? What's he done?
For God's sake, Laura, how should I know what he's done? I hadn't heard of him until this morning, and the only thing I know about him now is that he's got religious mania.
How do you know that?
Look at his list of engagements. This evening, he's attending the Bible study group at the Northern Polytechnic. Lunchtime tomorrow, an organ recital at All Saints Margaret Street. Tomorrow evening, he's giving a lecture on Christianity in the Permissive Society. On Friday...
And you've got to go with him.
See him there, sit through it and see him home again. And if you think it's so ruddy funny, you can come along too. You're always complaining about being stuck here all day.
Well, I might. What's on the menu for Sunday?
Sunday? Let's see. Sunday. On Sunday, he's preaching the sermon at All Souls, Langham Place.
Oh, I wouldn't want to miss that.
Shut that window, would you? Bruce can't hear myself speak. I've got Commander Oldroyd coming round in a minute. You know him?
I know of him, sir. He's the head of the special branch. I understand he can be a bit awkward.
Yeah, he's a Yorkshireman. Got about as much tact as a number 11 bus.
I see.
The point is, I haven't made up my mind yet what line to take about Templeton.
Have we got to take a line?
Well, of course. I had to tell Oldroyd about this threat to Sir James. It's his job to protect VIPs. That meant telling him about Professor Reynolds and Templeton.
Yes, I see.
You've known him longer than most of us. What's your opinion of him? Off the record.
I think he's sound and absolutely loyal.
Well, naturally, wouldn't be here if he wasn't. What about ability?
No complaints.
He made a fair mess of that Reynolds interview. Absolute dog's dinner.
It was a bad morning. He'd been fighting with his wife.
Huh?
She's a menace.
Oh, security risk?
No. Nothing like that.
Here, come in. All right. You know Bruce Fairfax?
No.
Oh. Well, sit down. You got my signal about Sir James Flint? Did you decide any action was called for?
I haven't made a decision. Do you want us to take action?
Well, wouldn't that be for you to judge?
You can't pass the book to me. You originated the request. It's for you to decide.
That's not very cooperative of you, if I may say so.
I'll cooperate fast enough if you want me to. Do you want us in on this one or not?
Well, at the moment, I doubt whether our information is definite enough to warrant calling you in, officially.
Looks as if I've had my journey for nothing, doesn't it?
My friends, I would like to take as my text for this little discourse the closing words of that fine hymn we've just sung. One church, one faith, one Lord. They're so pregnant with meaning that I could discourse for a full hour on each of them.
I hope he won't.
One church. In these days of divided loyalties, liturgical dissent, splinter groups, each convinced of the rightness of his private interpretation of the word and the wrongness of everyone else.
Wake up. If you must go to sleep, don't snore.
Is the vision fading, or is it something we can grasp?
Oh, I missed a lot of sleep lately.
Is it a mirage, or is it real? Is it a fact, or is it fantasy? I leave the question to you to answer. God bless you all.
Sorry to disappoint you, George, but it wasn't a death ray.
Who said it was?
The MI5 had some theory about it.
They believe in fairies down there. What was it?
A cyanide dart which penetrated the left lobe of the lung. Had a needle point. Behind that, a capsule which would fragment inside the body after impact. Most unpleasant weapon.
Kill you wherever it hit you?
Not in some outlying part. Not at once, anyway. If it hit you in the face, thorax, chest, or abdomen, it would be fatal within seconds.
Any ideas about the weapon?
All I can tell you so far is that it wasn't any gun in our book. To start with, the caliber was very small. Less than 3 millimeters.
Air gun?
I think that's very likely. Particularly as no one heard an explosion.
Well, we're too ruddy busy singing hymns. Will an air gun be powerful enough?
Well, you can produce any pressure in an air gun which the metal will stand.
Sounds like a homemade weapon.
Possibly. Or produced by our friends across the sea.
Political murder, you mean? Could be, I suppose. Why would the Russians want to knock off a harmless old G like Sir James Flint? They didn't have to listen to his sermons.
I'm afraid that's your province, George. Not mine.
It has now been established that the death last Sunday of Sir James Flint, Senior Under Secretary of the Treasury, was not due to natural causes. The Home Secretary has asked for a full investigation into a suggestion in certain sections of the press that the security forces had received warning that an attempt on his life would be made.
Turn it
It is
off.
understood that the...
What are they doing about it?
The Prime Minister is kicking the Home Secretary, who kicks Brigadier Partridge, who tries to shift the blame onto Oldroyd at Special Branch. But since they are the same rank and can't kick each other, they both kick me.
Why don't you get out?
Get out.
Hand your cards in. Move off. You're not a galley slave.
What you mean is, why don't I run away?
Or fight back. You just let them trample on you.
If I didn't deserve it, I'd hit back or move off. But the fact is, I do deserve it. If I'd paid some attention to what Reynolds was saying, it would never have
For
happened.
heaven's sake, you don't even know he had anything to do with it, do you?
Not for certain.
Well, then.
And are you telling me, Commander Oldroyd, that you offered Special Branch assistance to Partridge?
Yes, Home Secretary.
And he turned it down?
He did.
Did he give any reason?
I fancy he thought he could handle it himself.
I see. It has occurred to me from time to time in the past, I may be wrong, that there has been a certain lack of cooperation between your two departments.
We'll cooperate if we're asked to, Home Secretary.
Must you wait to be asked? You're not a branch of MI5. You're an independent organization with functions of your own. And one of those functions, Commander, is the protection of important members of the public. A function you seem to have fallen down on this occasion.
Yes, Home Secretary.
And Commander Oldroyd tells me he did, in fact, offer you assistance.
Yes, Home Secretary.
Well, why did you refuse it?
The thing was a tip-off from Fleet Street. We get dozens every month. We chased every one of them. We'd need 10 times the staff the Treasury let us have.
But in this case, I believe you had information from one of your own men.
I had a very sketchy report about a professor who talked about a death ray. I'm afraid I didn't take it seriously.
Well, that's understandable, maybe, but it was unfortunate. It seems to me that one way of preventing it happening again would be increased cooperation between MI5 and the special branch. It has been suggested that they should be amalgamated under a single head. Now, there are arguments against it, but it seems to me that a case could be made for it.
He suggested what, sir?
That we should amalgamate with the special branch.
Oh, you mean we should take them over? Well, there might be something to be said for it.
Yes, I'm not sure that's what he did mean.
He can't have been thinking that they...
Well,
surely.
I don't think any Home Secretary would go as far as that, Bruce.
Has Oldroyd said anything to you?
Only to suggest he might have another go at Templeton.
Poor old Michael. Everyone's having goes at him. What's that brute want to do now? Fill him with scopolamine or try him with a lie detector?
He said ask him a few questions. Since we've been ordered to cooperate, I don't think we can say no.
I can't see what good it'll do.
I've been through all that twice already, Commander.
Try again.
There's no point in it. I just tell you the same thing.
You don't, you know. The second time you added quite a lot.
Well, you've had it all now. Every single word he said.
Let's take it in parts. Start with the 2 men he said he'd worked with. One was an educated Frenchman, right?
Yes. And the other was a bit of a bully, a description which fits quite a lot of people I've met lately.
You mustn't take things personally, Mr. Templeton. You're our only source of information at the moment. Now let's think about the weapon. He called it a ray.
Yes. And talked about focusing it. He said it would be deadly.
But Sir James wasn't killed by a ray.
Exactly, and if you want my opinion, I don't think Reynolds had anything to do with it. His calling on me was just a coincidence.
Maybe. What was the word he used to describe the ray?
I think he said prismatic. I really can't remember.
And if this ray hit him on any central part of the body, it would be fatal.
That's what he said.
And that fits in with what we know about the cyanide dart. Now let's have what he said about Sir James.
Again?
Again, Mr. Templeton.
He wasn't a public figure. He was a backroom boy who spent most of his time in his office.
Yes?
In his office at the Treasury.
Yes?
He said... He made some remark about that.
Yes?
I can't remember them. Then there was the bit about him being a lay reader and preaching hypocritical sermons about the beauty of poverty, although he was rolling in money.
Colder.
What's that?
You're getting colder. When you were talking about his office, you were warm, and at one moment you were hot. You nearly remembered something, didn't you? Some crack he made about Sir James at the Treasury.
Well, I've remembered. It wasn't anything important. And he said something like, he spends his working day saying no to people like me who want money.
People like me who want money. Sir James had refused him money for some project.
I suppose he could have meant that.
Third time lucky, Mr. Templeton.
I can't make out why you thought it was so important, Commander.
I didn't say it was important. I said it might be. When people go to the Treasury, they take the trouble to write it down. Names, addresses, things like that. We might trace him.
There's a chance, I suppose.
Another thing, it gives us something which was missing before. A motive for killing Sir James.
Would it also give him a motive for killing Leopold Black?
What do you mean?
The tip-off about Sir James came from Fleet Street. They got it from an anonymous telephone call, also, they said. Well, the same source produced a second one this morning.
We have received information in the same way that we heard about Sir James Flint, but a similar attempt is to be made on the life of well-known politician Leopold Black at his next public meeting. It's a hoax.
So, I'm not sure. Flint may not have had many enemies. Black's a different kettle of fish. His views on immigration must have made him one of the most hated or the most popular men in the country. It depends on your point of view.
The most talked about, certainly. What have you done about it?
We've asked Fleet Street to keep it under hatches for 24 hours until we could have a word with Black. He's in Strasbourg at the moment.
Well, they agreed.
Surprisingly, yes.
So watch out for squalls.
Why do you say that?
It was their story, and it's not a breach of security or anything you could have put a D notice on. They could have run it without telling you anything about it, right?
They thought it was in the public interest to pass it on to us first.
When I see a newspaper putting the public interest before its circulation figures, I'll believe in a Loch Ness monster. They're up to something. Watch it, I tell you.
I take it you've seen the paper this morning, Templeton?
Yes, sir, I've seen it.
Laura Templeton, the wife of MI5 operative Michael Templeton, expressed the opinion that the death of Sir James Flint might have been the result of interdepartmental friction. She said this was not an isolated instance. MI5 and the special branch were, as she described it, at dagger's draw.
I'm sure she never said that, sir. You know how reporters exaggerate.
I am well aware that newspapers make bricks without straw, but they must have some ingredients to start them off.
Yes, sir.
How did she get the idea that MI5 and the police were not cooperating? Yes.
Suppose she must have got it from me.
You mean you discussed official matters with your wife?
Only very generally, not in detail.
You are aware that there is such a thing as the Official Secrets Act?
Yes, sir.
I shall send in a report to the Director of Public Prosecutions tonight. Until I get his ruling, you're not to come back to this office.
Yes, sir.
Go home and stay there. And if any more reporters come round, send for the police.
How could you do it? Even if he did twist your words, you must have said something.
He didn't twist my words.
What?
He wrote down exactly what I said, word for word.
What are you playing at?
I told you ought to get out. You hadn't the guts to resign, so I thought I'd get you the sack. And I have, haven't I?
The sack? Yes, I suppose you have. Do you realize I should be facing criminal charges under the Official Secrets Act?
Nonsense. No one takes any notice of that old rubbish. The worst that could happen would be that you'd get a reprimand.
I wish it was the worst.
Oh, Michael, for heaven's sake, they're not going to put you in the tower.
No. But I had a letter delivered by hand just before I left the office. It was from Lady Flint, accusing me of being responsible for her husband's death.
Oh, is it?
Brigadier Partridge for you, Commander.
Well, this time of night. Situation must be serious. Well, don't keep the gentleman waiting. Come in. I didn't know you folk worked overtime. I thought that was just the poor ruddy police.
Our masters have ordered us to cooperate.
Well, you can cooperate sitting down. Have a cigarette?
Thanks, I've got my pipe. I heard you'd got a line on Reynolds.
I told you we were checking all applications for Treasury backing of new inventions. We found this.
Application 36/197 from Professor Lambert Reynolds. At present holding the chair of Mechanical and Applied Sciences in the University of Leipzig. Leipzig?
Yes, I noticed that.
Plans and specifications in folder. Basically, this is a dual-purpose spray for use from a low-flying helicopter. Primary purpose, agricultural. Secondary purpose, use in warfare. In connection with nerve gas or fungoid toxics. In light of HMG's declared policy on chemical warfare, not recommended.
That's the Ministry Inspector's report, but you look at the bottom, see? It hasn't come out very well in the photocopy. I agree, JF.
So the professor did have a personal reason for hating him.
An extreme way of showing it.
Have you contacted the university?
One of my men's flying over. If there's a photograph available, we'll have it here tomorrow. And any details they can give us.
It's a start.
But to have Templeton on tap to identify the photo.
Yes. He's confined to quarters at the moment on account of that interview his wife gave to the press.
I want you to watch out for squalls. If you ask me, it's his wife who ought to be under arrest, not him.
Unfortunately, she's not subject to the Act. I'd better warn him he'll be wanted tomorrow.
Got his home number?
Yeah.
Give me an outside line.
Right, sir.
Here.
Thanks. Funny, eh? Doesn't seem to be any answer.
Could be out.
Tell him to stay at home. No, here's some.
Hello? Who is it? Sorry, I'm out of breath. I heard the phone as I came up the stairs.
Is that Mrs. Templeton?
Yes. Who is it?
Brigadier Partridge.
Oh.
I'd like a word with your husband, please.
I'm afraid he's asleep.
Then would you mind waking him?
He's very tired. That's why he went to bed early. Wouldn't tomorrow morning do?
If it hadn't been very important, I wouldn't have telephoned at this time of night. Now, if you don't mind.
Oh, very well. Darling, it's that stupid old partridge once you. He says it's important. Michael? Wake up. Michael. Oh, God.
Most unfortunate.
Yes, sir.
Departmentally, I mean.
Yes, sir.
Of course, there's no certainty it's suicide. Templeton was overtired, went to bed early, took a handful of sleeping pills.
15 or 20, the doctors say.
It could have been accidental.
Yes, sir. I asked Farrell to come up.
Oh, good. Come in.
Did you want me, sir?
Yes, Almeida. I believe you were on the door when this man Reynolds arrived.
That would be the inventor.
Yes.
The one who wants to see Mr. Templeton. By the way, I heard...
Yes, we're all very sorry.
Yes, sir.
I want you to take a good look at this photograph. It's not very clear, I'm afraid, being blown up from a group.
That's him, sir.
Sure?
Not the least doubt, sir.
Well, that's one point established. Thank you, Almeida.
There's one thing I think I ought to mention, sir.
Huh?
It's what occurred when this professor was leaving. There was a car waiting down the road. It picked him up.
Nothing odd about that?
It seemed to me as if the old gentleman didn't want to get into the car.
You mean they kidnapped him?
Not quite kidnapped, sir, no. But the man who leapt out, a big fella, he wouldn't take no for an answer. He fairly bundled the old man in.
Ah. You got the number of the car?
It was away too fast.
Oh, pity.
But I did think I recognized the big man. I couldn't be sure, because it's a good few years ago I knew him. It was his general appearance, if you follow me, and his voice, and, the way he behaved. I said to myself, surely to goodness if that isn't Major Crawshaw.
There's someone you knew in the army?
Well, I knew him well enough. In the 16th Tanks. I was his squadron sergeant, you see.
Ah, Christian name?
It's in my mind that the other officers called him Pat. He was a bit of a lad.
Go down to AG6, Bruce, and see if you can locate him. Major Crawshaw, Christian name possibly Pat, 16th Tanks. When did he leave the army?
He was still there when I got out myself, sir. In 1950, that was.
DEA announces the departure of flight DE406.
Mr. Black. Oh, Mr. Black, is there any truth in the rumors in the papers, Mr. Black?
If you all talk at once, you know, you won't get anything.
Mr. Black, have you any comment on the Daily Record story?
Which story?
That the man who shot Sir James Flint has threatened to shoot you.
I think it's most improbable.
Well, can we say you dismiss the story?
You can twist my words any way you like, gentlemen. You always have, you always will.
Can you think of any reason why anyone should have made this threat?
He wanted to get into the headlines of the Daily Record.
Well, are any special precautions being taken?
I've no idea.
Do you think precautions ought to be taken?
No comment.
I've got the dope on Crawshaw, sir.
Yeah.
That's his army file.
Sure. Born 1920, volunteered for service 1940, Octu 40, armored vehicle course Pelham Down, joined 16th Tank 41, service North African Italy, Captain 43, mentioned in dispatches, acting Major 1944, reverted to substantive rank 46, Major 1950, attached Porton 1951, left service 1955. Well, that seems straightforward enough.
Yes, sir. It was the other stuff that wasn't quite so straightforward.
What other stuff?
The reason he left the army.
What was the reason?
A lance corporal in the Coldstream Guards.
Oh, one of those.
More than one, actually.
Doesn't get us very far, though.
No, sir. Then I checked him in our files.
Have we got something on him?
Quite a bit. Crawshaw came under suspicion here in 1960. The police had a tip-off about the homosexual charges and were watching his flat. There was one regular visitor who didn't seem to fit in with his love life. They checked with us, and we identified him as a foreign agent. That was where it began to get really awkward.
In what way?
It seemed that Crawshaw had a legitimate reason for making contact with this foreign agent. He was working for MI6.
Bluff.
Oh, no, it was true.
Good God. Did Six know about his habits?
Yes, sir. They're not as fussy as we are about things like that.
Evidently not. I suppose this means we shall have to bring our friends into it.
Our friends are in it already, sir. I understand the Home Secretary has sent for C.
Then I'd better see him myself, and the sooner the better. It's perfectly true, Home Secretary. This man Crawshaw was under suspicion in 1960, both on security grounds and because of his sexual aberrations.
In spite of these propensities, he was employed by MI6.
I believe that's correct, sir. But, of course...
Yes?
Well, they have rather different views on these matters in Six.
Laxal views.
Well, to be fair, they operate on different lines. We are concerned with security, so we have to be absolutely certain of the soundness of our own officers.
Quis custodiat ipsos custodis.
Exactly. But six operate differently. Sometimes they have to get information in disreputable circles. Then they have to employ men who can move in those circles.
Men like Major Crawshaw?
Even men like him.
And how does Crawshaw fit into this particular business?
Professor Reynolds came to see us at MI5. He was interviewed by Templeton, who thought he was a crank and omitted to take any particulars.
Templeton, was that the man who...
Yes.
It was brought in as accidental death.
The coroner handled it very well.
Go on.
When the professor was talking to Templeton, he mentioned two colleagues in this scheme, plot, whatever it was. One was a bit of a bully, which would fit Crawshaw. The other was an educated Frenchman, which would fit a known associate of Crawshaw who called himself the Comte la Jarige. Although he's no right to the touch, a very smooth operator. French father and Russian mother. Used to work for French intelligence.
Used to work?
The usual story. The French thought he was working for them and pretending to work for the Russians. But he was working for the Russians and pretending to work for them. When they rumbled him, he came over here, one jump ahead of the SDEC. Six then used Crawshaw to keep tags on him.
Why?
Well, when the French took him off their books, the Russians naturally disconnected him too. If Six could have signed him on, that would have given him a chance of doubling on us and going back to the Russians, which is probably what he wanted to do anyway. If he did that and thought we didn't know, it could have been very useful. If you follow me.
I don't follow a single word of it, Brigadier, and I don't wish to. The only point I want to be clear about is whether you're suggesting that it was a Russian intelligence agent who assassinated Sir James.
I'd concede it was exactly the sort of weapon an intelligence operative might use. Silent, efficient, and rather beastly.
But why Sir James? He seemed to be a person of no political significance.
You'd hardly say the same of Leopold Black.
No, there I must agree with you. I understand a specific threat has been made to kill him at this meeting he's addressing in Central Hall on Friday.
That is so.
What's being done about it?
The Prime Minister saw him and asked him as a personal favour to cancel the meeting. He refused.
Well, no one would wish to be killed. But I think that if Leopold Black had to choose the manner of his going, he would select an occasion with the maximum press coverage.
If you want my opinion, Brigadier, I think the whole thing's a mare's nest.
You mean you think the press invented the second scare?
I'll tell you what I think. I think Professor Reynolds killed Sir James Flint himself.
Oh? Why?
We know he got a grievance against him. Brooded over it until it went rotten. This happened before.
If he was going to kill him, why did he come and warn us about it?
Because he really wanted you to stop him.
Oh, are you a psychiatrist as well as a policeman?
I've seen plenty of cases like it. All he wanted was sympathy. What he got was a brush-off from your man Templeton.
I suggest we stop blaming Templeton, who is no longer here to defend himself.
I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming your organisation.
Oh?
You staff it with amateurs and expect them to perform like professionals.
Do you think being offensive is going to solve our problems?
All right, I apologise. But we've got to be certain it doesn't happen again.
Then you are taking this second threat seriously?
We are. We can't call off the meeting, but we've arranged to have closed-circuit television cameras monitoring the audience, and there'll be enough plainclothes men inside the hall to put one into every second row. If anyone points anything at Black, he'll be grabbed before he can pull the trigger. And if the professor or either of his friends manages to loose off a shot, he won't get out again. There'll be policemen on every door and a cordon round the hall.
But Mr. Leopold Black dismissed these as sensational rumours with no foundation in fact. Early today, the body of an elderly man was found in the New Forest. The police are treating the case as murder. The recent numerous fog accidents on the motorway...
No doubt about it, Bruce?
None at all, sir. It was Professor Reynolds, all right. I only saw him once, but it wasn't the sort of face you could forget.
How did the police get onto it so quickly?
Well, someone had emptied his pockets, but they'd overlooked a tailor's tab inside his trousers. It had his name on it. They knew Central were looking for a Professor Reynolds and put two and two together.
I suppose there's no chance of keeping it quiet.
None at all, I'm afraid, sir. The press were rolling up as I left. I think they followed the pathologist there.
Did you see his report?
No, but I had a word with him. He said the professor had been dead for at least a week.
Well, then he can't have had anything to do with Sir James's death.
Not directly, but it ties him in with it, doesn't it?
Explain.
Well, before this happened, he might have been only a harmless old crank, and what happened to Sir James could have been a coincidence. Not now.
The commissioner had a story that two men picked the professor up when he left here, bundled him into a car, and drove off. If what we're thinking is right, it means they drove him straight down to the New Forest, killed him, and dumped the body.
That would fit the timing.
But how did they know they went too late? He was coming away from here. How did they know he hadn't told us everything? Names, addresses, method they used, the whole shooting match.
Oh, that's easy. When we did nothing to stop them killing Sir James, they knew they were all right and decided to go on with their plans.
And kill Leopold Black?
Yes, sir.
Been no lack of interest this time. The papers have seen to that.
Do you think they'll try it?
Oh, I shouldn't think so. Old Roy's on his mettle. He'll have that hall sealed tighter than the Bank of England. I haven't seen a crowd like this since the coronation.
I hope they don't break the cordon.
They're remarkably good-tempered.
Of course. There's nothing people like more than the chance of seeing a politician assassinated. Better than a bullfight.
They'll have to shut the door soon. Must be hundreds of gate crashers in already.
Do you suppose he's in?
Who?
You know damn well who I mean.
Oh, him.
No, sir. Therefore, in introducing a man who I am sure needs no introduction from me, Mr. Leopold Black, the Member of Parliament for East Sunderland. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to see you here in such gratifying numbers. I should be flattering myself if I imagined that all of you had come here to listen to my views on immigration in an overpopulated and industrialized state. Vital to all of us, though this question is, I imagine that many of you have come along to see me killed. I shall be sorry if I have to disappoint you. But I hope to remain alive for many more years and to devote them to convincing this government and any future government that their ideas on control of immigration are, to put the matter kindly, outdated, or to speak more frankly, are dishonest, vote-catching nonsense.
I have to make a statement in the House this evening. I want the facts. No excuses, Commander, just the facts. We can apportion the blame later.
The security arrangements were made by me, Home Secretary. I had the cooperation of the Assistant Commissioner C and the Chief Superintendent of A Division.
Yes?
I informed MI5 of what I was doing, and I was in touch with Brigadier Partridge throughout, though he had no responsibility for the actual arrangements.
Which were?
We had 40 plainclothes officers inside the hall as observers, and a closed-circuit television system which monitored the audience. Static cameras on the section in front of the platform and roving cameras on the gallery and side aisle.
A bit slower. I want to make notes. Yes?
Then we had 200 uniformed police on duty outside the hall, partly for crowd control, partly to guard the exits.
200 outside, 40 inside. Television scanning. It should have been adequate.
What we had not foreseen was the mass panic. The audience stampeded. I was in observation upstairs, and in 30 years' service, I've never seen anything like it. Their one idea was to get outside, and they weren't going to let anything stop them. If you fell down, you were walked over. 1 woman was killed, 35 people were injured, 12 of them seriously. If the police had tried to hold the doors, I don't like to think what would have happened.
Aye, but the result is the murderer escaped in the rush.
Yes.
What are you doing about tracing him?
An appeal is being put out. It'll be in the papers this evening, on the radio tonight, asking everyone who was in All Souls Church or Central Hall to report the fact to their local police station, or to Scotland Yard, where a headquarters is being set up to analyse the information.
And when they do?
They'll be asked to identify themselves and to say exactly where they were sitting.
Surely, Commander, the one person who will not respond to your appeal is the murderer.
No doubt. But the way I look at it is this. If I had a jigsaw of 100 pieces and was able to fit 99 of them into place, I should know something about the shape of the missing piece.
So our heads are still on our shoulders?
Mine felt a bit loose last night, but it's still there.
I thought the Home Secretary did his stuff in the house very well.
Scott's all right. As long as he trusts you, he'll back you. But there's only one real answer. We've got to catch the bastard.
You're sure it was the same man both times?
The cyanide darts were identical. The weapon was almost certainly the same.
Where did it...
On the top of the stomach.
God, horrible. How's it feel, Guy?
Well enough. There's been a lot of publicity. They'll place everyone in the hall in the end. It's the sort of job they understand.
Rebuilding the stable after the horse had gone.
One odd thing has come up already.
Huh?
They've only found one person who was present on both occasions.
Who was that?
Mrs. Templeton. Can you give us anything on range or angle, Superintendent?
Well, nothing useful. The depth of penetration was the same in both cases. To calculate the range accurately, you need to know the muzzle velocity of the weapon.
Angle?
Angle of impact was level in the first case. In the second, slightly down.
Downwards.
A lobbing shot?
No. I took it the first shot was fired from a point level with the target, the second from a point slightly above it.
From the gallery?
That's what I thought. The gallery at All Souls is about level with the top of the pulpit. The gallery at Central Hall is well above the platform, but one has to remember that Black was standing up. The killer presumably was sitting down.
Sitting in the front row of the gallery.
But how did he aim the weapon? The television stills of the gallery aren't too clear, but surely you'd be able to see if someone had taken something out and pointed it.
Wait a minute. As I understand you, Superintendent, the weapon was an air gun. But need it look like a conventional air gun? It could be in two parts. The barrel and a cylinder supplying the compressed air.
Linked by a flexible tube?
Yes,
that would be easy.
Then why shouldn't you have the barrel strapped onto your forearm, hidden by the seat? Rest your arm on the rail in front of the gallery, point your hand towards the man you want to kill, and let it off.
And how do you aim it?
Well, I mean, it's pointing in the right direction.
The distance from the front of the gallery to the stage in Central Hall is 120 feet.
I'll take a word.
A variation of half a degree. Error of 1 foot.
Would have been a fluke.
A carefully prepared plan depended on an outsizing flute coming off quite running.
No, I don't believe it.
Have you any idea, Superintendent?
Well, I've thought about it all ways round, and I can only come to one conclusion. They've discovered something professional assassins ever since firearms were accurate way of aiming a gun. Hearing to aim.
I asked you to come along and have a word with me, Mrs. Templeton, though my reason may surprise you.
I imagine it was because I was the only person who was there on both occasions.
Apart from the killer.
Half from the killer, of course.
Very natural you should have been at the church. But what took you to Central Hall?
I'd no difficulty in getting it. The man who does the bookings is an old friend of mine.
I didn't mean that. I meant why did you go? Are you interested in the immigration question?
Not in the least.
Then why?
I should have thought. I could have guessed.
Maybe, but I'd like you to tell me.
I once said that this man before he kills someone.
You think you'll be able to help?
I have a curious power, I don't know what you'd call it, a photographic recall. If I have seen a set without bothering much about it, then I want. All I have to do is sit with my eyes on and then I see it. It's like developing the next. I was sitting in church about halfway down on the south side of the aisle. I could see the faces of the people sitting level with me and in the row or two behind. I could describe each of them to you and identify them if you wanted me to. I could do the same for the people in the front row of the gallery.
Yeah.
You're particularly interested in the people in the front row of the gallery.
What makes you think that?
When I mentioned them, you closed the fingers of your left hand, usually a sign of tension.
Oh, I must remember to cure myself of the habit. Yes, we're particularly interested in the front row of the galleries of the church and hall.
I could describe each one in detail, but there's no need. There was only one match.
Mrs. Templeton, if you're sure about what you say, I don't want to sound hurt, but if it really is true, it could be vitally important. Can you describe it?
But there is a difficulty. The top half of his face was almost entirely concealed.
Concealed?
Well, by a very heavy pair of what I believe are called dark glasses. Glasses with heavy frames and wide side pieces that exclude the light.
Oldroyd.
Brigadier Partridge here. Look, can you tell me from your records if any of the people who were sitting near your suspect noticed he was wearing dark glasses?
All of them noticed it. Why?
Because I wanted to check up on the... No, I'll explain. There's the more important question. I'd like you to put it to your scientific chap. Why would anyone wear heavy, dark glasses in church?
Stand clear of the door.
My dear Pat, punctual to the minute.
Have some cigarettes.
I have plenty of cigarettes, but unfortunately smoking is forbidden.
There's no one near enough to bother.
On the contrary, that man at the other end of the carriage, the one with the beard, he has his eye on you already. You dare to light a cigarette, he will pull the alarm. You have a headache.
I have the father and mother of a hangover.
You drink too much.
I've been drinking too much since I was 40.
Then, to business. You will be glad to learn the first part of our operation went very smoothly.
Good.
I telephoned Mr. Arnold Jackson, the chairman of the Midland and Border Trust Company. You were perfectly correct in your estimate of him. He is a man of no great courage.
He hid in the Ministry of Information during the whole of the war. He was as wet as a sponge. What happened?
I introduced myself. I pointed out that he was due very shortly to address the annual general meeting of his shareholders. I said, what a thousand pities it would be, Mr. Jackson, if at the very moment that you stepped forward to the edge of the platform with a warm smile on your face to announce an increased final dividend, you were to suffer the same fate as Sir James Flint and Mr. Leopold Black.
What did you say to that?
He blustered a good deal, huffed and puffed, and said he didn't believe me.
So?
I said, my dear Mr. Jackson, you can very easily prove whether I am bluffing. Go to your meeting and find out.
Then, I suppose, he started to talk about the police.
Precisely. I said, my dear Mr. Jackson, if you report this conversation to the police, they will certainly take it seriously. They will take elaborate precautions. They will surround all the constables. They will call out the army. Then, of course, I shall not appear. But later, some weeks later, Mr. Jackson, when you are walking home...
I bet he started crying.
Very soon it was a matter of how much. I was able to assist him to salve his pride. I said, surely the company will pay to protect its chairman. Yes, if you are traveling by airplane, they would insure your life. A modest single premium, £2,000.
That ruddy woman's going to come and sit down beside us.
Put your tongue out at her. There. You see, she has gone away.
Stand clear of the door. Will he pay?
Of course he will pay. When I telephone him this evening, he will say that he has been thinking the matter over, and the board has come to the conclusion that the expense is justified. And how would we like payment to be made?
How would we?
I have been considering the matter. I noticed you have a wide acquaintance with the younger members of the criminal class.
I wouldn't deny I find them interesting.
Boys with no particular moral scruples. Boys who are in and out of jail.
And when they're out, they're usually hopped up to the back teeth.
I suggest we employ one of them, possibly a different one each time, to attend at the rendezvous and pick up the money on a 10% commission. If any of our contacts should have played us false, our messenger boy will get into trouble.
And start singing.
No doubt. But since he knows nothing about me and very little about you, except that you are a man he met in some club in Soho, is there any information he can give them?
Not really.
The point is, would they take the risk?
For £200? Most of them would cut their old granny's throat for half that.
Splendid. Then I leave it to you to make all the arrangements. This is where you get out, is it not?
Yes. Where do you get out?
Further down the line, Pat.
You're a cagey bastard, aren't you? Don't you trust me?
Of course not.
Well, we found Crawshaw.
With a broken neck in a ditch in Epping Forest?
No, Brigadier. Alive and kicking in a drinking club in Frith Street.
Have you pulled him in?
For what?
Well, I should have thought we had enough to hold him.
We've got nothing on him at all. apart from one tentative identification by your commissionaire O'Farrell. And it wasn't Crawshaw who did the killing.
How do you know?
We know a good deal about the man in dark glasses now. He arrived at Central Hall very early. He paid for his ticket in cash. He occupied seat 9 in the front row of the gallery and spent most of the time leaning forward with his arms resting on the ledge in front of him. The people who noticed him have described him as thin, serious, pale, nondescript, quiet, tall, slight, and scholarly looking. Does that sound like Pat Crawshaw?
Though I've never met Major Crawshaw.
My people have. According to them, he's a fat, blustering, red-faced, roaring, drunken sodomite.
What are you going to do about him?
Keep on his tail. Sooner or later, he'll lead us to the Count, if he doesn't drink himself to death first.
He's got money, then?
Rolling in it. Pockets full of 5s and 10s. Have a drink, lad. Buy several drinks. Plenty more where this come from.
And where did it come from?
Oh, there's a buzz going around about that.
Well?
This isn't proved. It's the sort of thing someone hears from someone who's had it from someone else, but the story is that quite a few men in the city have paid off under threat of the treatment Flint and Black got.
God.
That makes sense. What was missing before was the motive.
Are you suggesting the first 2 killings were just demonstrations?
Very convincing demonstrations, too. Particularly the second. If we couldn't save Black when we were warned in advance about the time and place, how are we going to protect Mr. A, Mr. B, and Mr. C when we aren't warned? Oh, God, I reckon this pair of villains have got people so scared all they have to do is press the button and...
Yeah, what? You've done it again, you lucky old bastard. Now will you tell me?
You can keep the small change. Tell you what, laddie.
Who he is?
Who is?
This friend you're always talking about. The one you get all the money from.
Little boys who ask too many questions get spanked.
Ah, go on. Can't do any harm to say. He got all that money, he might hand some out to me.
I don't think you'd appeal to him, Geordie. He's got perverted tastes. He likes girls.
Ah, I don't believe he exists.
He certainly does.
He's just a figment of your imagination. What's up?
Where did you get that word from? Figment.
I read it in a book.
What does it mean?
It means you made the old bloody thing up. Didn't you?
You are a persistent little boy, aren't you? Let me tell you something. He not only exists, but as it happens, I'm meeting him in 20 minutes. Satisfied?
Where?
On the platform of Oxford Circus Underground Station. He'll arrive by the Bakerloo line train. I'll get in, we'll have a cosy little talk. I'll get out, he'll get out.
Can I come along?
You cannot come along. If you try to follow me, I'll kick your bottom so hard you won't sit down for a week. And if I see you hanging about on the platform, I'll boot you in front of the train.
Oh, don't be like that, Pat.
Come along, sir. All changed. The end of the line. End of the line, sir. Wake up, sir. End of the line. Wake up.
Dead.
Like the other 2?
Like the other 2. A cyanide dart in the left lung, only fired from very close range this time.
Have you any idea how it happened?
We know very well how it happened. Crawshaw caught the train at Oxford Circus. The Frenchman was on it. They travelled together until the carriage was empty, and the Frenchman shot him and left the carriage at the next station. They found Crawshaw at the terminus.
Why did he do it?
Because Crawshaw had been drinking too much and talking too much. And he probably guessed we were onto him.
Your man slipped up then?
Our man did not slip up. He did his piece very well. He got right up alongside Crawshaw and stuck to him for a fortnight, which took some doing, I can tell you. In the end, he told him what he was waiting to hear. He said, I'm due to meet my friend in 20 minutes. He's arriving at Oxford Circus by the Bakerloo line. Just like that. Instead of trying to follow him, which would have been bloody silly, he got on the blower to us. We had squad cars out and men covering every Bakerloo line station from the Elephant to Stanmore.
Oh, what went wrong?
Crawshaw wasn't as drunk as he sounded. He told our man a lie. The Frenchman wasn't travelling on the Bakerloo line, he was on the Victoria line.
So now Crawshaw's dead and we're back where we started.
We're putting out a call for anyone who travelled on that train.
That'll give you nothing you haven't got already, a vague description.
Maybe.
Can't the French police give you anything?
They've given us all they've got. Would you care to hear it?
Yeah.
Hair, black, but maybe a wig. Face, pale. Features, regular. Eyes, blue, but thought to wear coloured contact lenses. Teeth, regular, almost certainly false. Height, 1.75 metre. Weight, 76 kilos. Dresses quietly, no distinguishing marks, speaks good English. Oh, and we've got a set of fingerprints, which will be very useful if we ever caught him.
Something.
There are 8 million people in Greater London. I'd say to guess that description would fit around 100,000 of them. There's a footnote. Known weaknesses, old wine and young girls.
Oh. You sound tired, baby.
I'm not tired. I'm bored.
Why are you bored?
Because we don't do anything. You sit there drinking and I sit here thinking. That's a poem. Oh, why can't we go out? Go somewhere, do something.
You want to do something.
Something else. For instance, why don't we go over to Paris for a few days?
I have explained, my dear, for the next few days I have business to attend to. Just now I'm expecting an important telephone call. I have to be here when it comes. After that is done with, perhaps.
Just because you've got to sit about, does that mean I've got to? It's boring sitting about.
But if you go out, Sherry, I shall be all alone. Then I shall be bored.
Oh, go on. You can amuse yourself for a couple of hours. Start another bottle.
No.
Oh, I loathe you. Did you read this thing about the man they found dead in a train?
I only read the financial news.
The guard, Mr. Sidney Munt, discovered the body when the 11:54 Victoria Line train arrived at Walthamstow Central. Mr. Munt, who is a father of 5, said, "When I saw him first, I thought he was asleep. The dead man has been identified as Major Patrick Crawshaw." Hey!
Hey, what?
Didn't you know someone with a name like that?
A name like what?
Pat Crawshaw.
I've known many people in my life. I can't remember any Pat Crawshaw. Yet it does ring a bell. Was she a professional golfer?
Says he was a major. Oh, isn't that the phone? It's probably the one you're waiting for. If it is, tell him to be quick. Then we can go out somewhere.
Hello. Yes?
Mr. Thompson?
Speaking. Who's that, please?
I understood from a mutual friend, Ivan, that you were at a loose end in London. Possibly I might be able to offer you some entertainment.
That's very kind, really very kind indeed. Where would you suggest we meet and when?
There is a place I'm very fond of. It is secluded but not difficult to reach. A garden near one of the inns of court. I think they call it Lincoln's Inn. Do you know it?
You mean Lincoln's Inn Fields? Yes, I know it.
I shall be in the small central area, and since I have not had the pleasure of meeting you, perhaps you could wear... What do you suggest?
A red rose?
Splendid. A red rose. At 1 o'clock, then, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, Bruce, what is it?
I've been doing a recheck on Crawshaw, sir.
Huh?
I got his full record from the MOD. There was one rather odd point in it.
Huh?
Do you remember in the summary we had it mentioned that he worked at Portland after the war?
I think I do, yes.
I thought it might be interesting to know what he worked on.
Portland, boffins who play around with gas.
Not entirely, sir. Actually, the nerve gas work is all done at Halston now. Portland's general weapon research.
Weapon research?
Exactly, sir.
Might be worth chasing up.
It's a long shot, of course.
A long shot is better than no shot at all. If you ask me, now they've lost Crawshaw, our friends in the police have come to a dead end.
Why didn't they pull him in while they got him and put him through it?
That's exactly what I said. When I got with some blather from old Royd about not being able to make the case stick.
I think they slipped up there.
I think they did. And now it's up to us to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them.
I gather they're getting worried up top.
Yes, the latest development that's worrying them. blackmail and extortion from influential people. Go to Portland and see what you can do.
Come in.
Professor Gauss?
Correct.
Colonel Trent sent me along to have a word with you.
You are coming to join our section, Mr.
Fairfax, Bruce Fairfax. No, actually, I've been sent down from London to make some inquiries about a Major Crawshaw who was down here in 1951.
So?
I was told you were the oldest inhabitant of Portland.
22 years I have been here. And I think that here I shall remain until I die.
Well, I understand that Crawshaw was in the project section under you.
Crawshaw? Crawshaw, yes. Certainly I remember him. Fat, lazy, stupid, and debauched. Why they send him here is a mystery too difficult even for me to solve. What has Major Crawshaw done now?
They think he was mixed up in the killings.
Killings? What killings?
Haven't you read in the papers?
The only killings I am interested in are rats, rabbits, and guinea pigs.
What we wanted to know, Professor, was what project Major Crawshaw was working on when he was here.
Work? He did no work. All day he sat in the bar and drank gin.
Let's say, what project was he supposed to be working on?
In 1951, yes. In the armament section. I can consult our records if you wish, but I am fairly certain it would have been the Black Light project.
Black Light?
Black Light?
That's right, sir. They were starting to develop it at the end of the war. The original idea was to produce a headlight on a vehicle or a tank, one which the driver could see but no one else could. The light was outside the visual spectrum, infrared or ultraviolet. The driver saw it because he was wearing special goggles of filtered glass.
Goggles?
That's right, sir. It, does seem to fit, doesn't it?
By God, it does. Get hold of that chap Nicholas from the Forensic Science Laboratory and give Oldroyd a ring.
Well, it's perfectly possible, sir. The barrel of your rifle would really be a torch. It would throw a single concentrated beam of infrared light. The operator, wearing dark glasses and sitting directly behind it, would see the beam, but it would be invisible to everyone else.
Then all he has to do is to focus it on his victim and pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's the bit I don't see. If this apparatus has got some device which shines a beam of light down the barrel, wouldn't it block it?
No. The source of the light would be outside the actual barrel. The light would be reflected down it by a prism, and the action of the trigger would raise the prism. You get the same thing in a modern camera with an aiming device.
And that fits with something else, sir. The professor said something about my prismatic ray.
Let me get this straight, then. You wear the barrel up your sleeve, strapped onto your arm.
That's right, sir.
You sit somewhere which gives you an uninterrupted view of your victim.
Front row of a gallery, best, because you can rest your arm on the rail quite naturally.
Center this ray, which only you can see, on your victim, and pull the trigger.
Which is probably in your left-hand pocket.
Tell one thing I can't make out. How would a drunken sot like Crawshaw put together such a complicated piece of machinery?
I don't think he did, sir. That was where Professor Reynolds came in. This precious pair kidded him they were working for MI6 and got him to build it for them under conditions of strict secrecy. It was only towards the end he got worried. Maybe they let something out.
So that seems to be the truth of the matter, Commander.
All right. So now we know how it was done.
You don't seem very grateful.
Knowing how it was done isn't going to stop it being done again.
It's a step forward. At least you'll admit that. A long step.
We've taken a longer one.
Huh?
We know who he's going to use it on next.
Who?
Sir Ian McLachlan, chairman of Fraser and Ritchie, the cotton spinners. He asked him for £5,000. He picked the wrong man there. So Ian came straight to us.
You'll give him protection, of course.
Just exactly what sort of protection would you suggest, Brigadier?
Well...
Would you perhaps suggest we check everyone in sight every time he goes to a meeting, or to the theatre, or to the cinema, or to church, or a football match? And keep it up for, what shall we say, next 5 years?
You could warn your men to watch out for anyone wearing dark glasses.
Don't be daft. He won't turn up wearing them. They'll stay in his pocket to the last moment.
Are you telling me, Commander, there's nothing you can do about this?
I didn't say that. I think there is something we can do. If we play the match on our ground, not his.
How do you mean?
McLachlan has given us details of how the money is to be paid over. so we can identify the man who collects it.
Ah, I see. Then you follow him back to the Frenchman.
Too risky.
Then what are you going to do?
Pull him in and charge him with 3 murders.
My dear Count, how can one believe it? That man, that creature, what is his name?
I believe he is known in the criminal circles in which he moves as Connolly. Fred Connolly.
Ignorant, immature drug addict. Simply employed by you as a messenger to collect the money. How could anyone believe he devised and carried out those ingenious killings?
People believe what they want to believe, Colonel. They felt uncomfortable when a killer was on the loose. A killer who had demonstrated his power to strike in public undetectably. Now, the wonderful British police have arrested him. Bravo! They can sleep peacefully in their beds.
The authorities cannot believe it themselves. It must be a trap.
Trap or not, it makes things very difficult for me.
How?
It is a matter of psychology. Previously, the advantage was with me. I telephone a man out of the blue. His reactions are shock, fear, followed by relief that a way out is offered him. I have established a psychological ascendancy, but not now. Now his first reaction will be disbelief. He has read in the papers that the killer is in custody. Therefore, I am a fraud, someone trying to cash in on the situation.
Then, as far as you are concerned, the weapon has outlived its usefulness. I have already suggested that it might have a value in other fields. My masters are very interested.
If I were to agree, would your masters accept me back on the same terms as before?
A man who can bring a weapon as valuable as this would be welcome on any terms. You hesitate?
I dislike ending a run of successes with a failure, and I dislike being bluffed.
What have you in mind?
This man, Connolly, has been committed to trial at the Old Bailey on Monday week.
So I saw. He has the misfortune to come up before Bullimore.
Yes.
He is one of the sternest judges.
I imagine he has been selected for that reason.
So that Connolly may expect a very long sentence.
Yes. Always supposing that Mr. Justice Bullimore survives to pronounce sentence.
My dear Count, surely you are not suggesting
you agree it would be an effective final demonstration?
Oh, certainly. Effective for you and effective for us. For if, as I suspect, the authorities are planning to provoke you into taking precisely this step, and if this weapon can be used when the victim is both guarded and forewarned, its value will hardly need emphasizing.
Exactly.
Nevertheless, I do not recommend it.
Why?
Because I fancy you will find yourself in a trap which you cannot get out of.
Are we going to tell Mr. Justice Bullimore he's next in line to be shot at?
Well, it depends on how confident you are that you can protect him.
I wouldn't use the word confident. Not after Leopold Black.
Oh, it shouldn't be too difficult. The public gallery at the Old Bailey doesn't hold more than 40 or 50 people.
He'll disguise himself. He'll keep those dark glasses in his pocket until the last moment.
You could search everyone going in.
Wouldn't work.
Why not? You'd find the gun.
The trial's bound to last 4 or 5 days. If we search everyone going in on the first day, he'll hear about it and won't turn up.
Then you must let him have a shot at Bullimore. Grab him in time to upset his aim. He can't get away with it.
Suppose we don't succeed in upsetting his aim.
Well, I've always held that in warfare, senior officers are expendable. The same goes for high court judges.
But will it work?
There's no certainty, Home Secretary, that the scheme will work. It's the best we could think of.
At least I was glad to learn, Brigadier, that your department and the special branch are cooperating over it.
MI6 as well.
How do they come into it?
For some time, they've been keeping observation on the third secretary at the Russian embassy, Colonel Sholitov. 2 days ago, they got a photograph. I thought you might be interested to see it.
Is the young lady on the left of importance?
Oh, no. She happened to be playing netball and got into the picture by mistake. No, it's the 2 middle-aged gentlemen on the seat who are of particular interest.
The man on the left is this man, Sholitov, I take it?
Yes.
And the one on the right?
MI6 had it circulated to a number of friendly organizations. They had an answer from Paris this morning. Close resemblance to photograph in their possession of the so-called Comte de la Jarige.
What?
I thought you'd be interested.
You had him followed, of course.
I'm afraid not. Why? At the time, we had no idea who he was.
I see.
However, we're keeping Colonel Sholitoff closely covered. If they meet again, we will do our best to see that the Count does not escape us.
You must make sure of it.
Well, it won't be easy. Their technique's very good. They always arrange to meet in the open. Imagine a rendezvous in the middle of Hampstead Heath.
I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a chance in a million. We've got to try it.
And so, my dear Count, you are determined on your folly.
There is sometimes greater safety in courting danger than in avoiding it.
One must admire your courage, but deplore your rashness. I'm acquainted with number 1 court at the Old Bailey. The public gallery is small and approached by a narrow staircase, which can easily be blocked. True. One must assume that the authorities have by now deduced your methods, in outline, if not in detail.
They would be very stupid if they had not.
Then
their minds will be working in exactly the same way as yours. They will assume that I plan to find a seat in the gallery, to don a pair of dark glasses at the last moment, and give a final demonstration of my marksmanship. So I shall do nothing of the sort. I shall be downstairs in the body of the court. I shall be dressed as a respectable lawyer in black coat and pinstripe trousers. I shall carry an entry permit, which I can easily obtain, and I shall not be wearing dark glasses. I am now sufficiently confident at close quarters to use this gun without.
And afterwards?
I slip out of the door and escape into the street.
You'll be stopped at the entrance.
It's a chance I must take.
No, there I can improve on your plan. Don't make for the main entrance. When you come out of the court, turn left and run very quickly along the corridor. You'll find a door marked no entry. Go through it.
Then?
We have a sympathizer on the staff of the court. He has often given us useful information about prisoners. I will arrange for him to be waiting for you. He will let you out of a locked door into the prisoner reception yard, which should be empty. I will have a car waiting for you.
Excellent.
There is one other thing. You know that we are being watched.
Now?
Both at this meeting and, I think, at our previous one.
How do you know?
One has an instinct in these matters. It tells me that somewhere in the middle distance, perspiring members of MI6, disguised as bird watchers, are observing us through field glasses, and perhaps wondering what precise species you belong to.
This is serious.
That is why we must treat it seriously. No doubt they anticipate that we will split up and their orders are to follow you. Therefore, we will not split up. We will walk together in a dignified manner to my official car, which will drive us back to the embassy. You will walk straight through the embassy building to the back door, where my unofficial car is always stationed. It has a driver who can guarantee to shake off any pursuit in 5 minutes.
Let me be quite clear that I understand what you're telling me, Brigadier. There is a man. You do not know his name, and you're unable to locate him.
We have seen him twice from a distance, but he managed to give us the slip.
I'm not criticizing your efficiency. I'm seeking the facts.
Yes, Sir Warren.
You have reason to suppose, although the grounds for your supposition are far from clear to me, that this man is planning to be present in my court when I'm hearing the case against Connolly, and that he will endeavor to discharge a weapon, which you have not been able to describe to me, in my direction.
Well, yes.
What do you expect me to do about it?
We thought you ought to know.
Do you imagine I shall appear on the bench in bulletproof robes? Well, with an armed guard on either side of me, eh? Or perhaps you suggest I should cower behind a glass screen, speak through a microphone. Because if you have any such ideas, Brigadier, you can dismiss them. That is not the way in which justice is administered in this country. In the last 4 days, members of the jury, you have heard the facts in this case set out for you by the learned Attorney General. On the 3rd of September, Sir Ian McLachlan, chairman of Fraser and Ritchie, received a telephone call at his home. The caller, speaking in what may have been an assumed French accent, demanded...
4 possibles in the gallery, 3 of them in the front row.
Yeah, better not try to hold him in the gallery. We don't want another Central Hall panic.
We've got 4 good men on the stairs, and the door at the bottom can be locked.
When the accused offered no convincing explanation of his actions. As is not uncommon in such cases, he has asserted that he was acting under the orders of another man.
I take it you've got the outside doors guarded too.
I've a party under a sergeant on each street door.
Armed?
The sergeant's armed.
Is there a back door into the yard?
Locked. But I've got the key.
Weigh up carefully the evidence you have heard and to consider your verdict. If there is any further point you wish to have explained to you, then you are welcome to return here, and I shall be available to deal with it.
The court will rise.
Here they are, quick.
All clear. I'll lock it behind you. The car's waiting round the corner.
Hello, Car 1. Hello, Car 1. Control to Car 1. Over.
Hello, Control, Car 1 receiving you, over.
How are you making out? Over.
Nearly lost him twice. He's dodgy, over.
Hold him for another 5 minutes and we'll have the choppers airborne. Out to you. Hello, Car 2. Hello, Car 2. Report your position. Over.
Hello, Control. Car 2, stationary point B. Fox not inside. Over.
Fox reported making for A20 via New Cross. Patrol slowly towards Car 3 at point C. If Car 1 loses contact, we will try to put you and Car 3 onto him. Out.
Well, this is very interesting, Brigadier. A full-scale military operation involving ground and air forces.
Well, I hope it works, Sam Secretary. We've 3 radio cars in a triangle. Commander Oldroyd is in Car 3. Fox is somewhere in the middle. Car 1 has him in view, but may lose him at any moment. It's a top embassy driver.
Then what?
Well, we've got to hope it won't happen until the helicopters are up. They're on net to the cars. Once they spot him, he won't get away.
How did you get this organized so quickly?
We had the embassy car covered. In case the Frenchman did get out, we knew he'd make for it.
What happened in court? The accounts so far have been a mite confusing.
Well, the Frenchman seems to have got into the body of the court. He got a pass somehow. We'll have to look into that. He wasn't wearing glasses. When he was on the point of firing, Mrs. Templeton spotted him. She loosed off a scream to wake the dead. Bullimore ducked, and the shot hit the paneling 6 inches above his head.
He must have remarkably quick reactions for an old man.
Hello, Control. Hello, Control. Chopper 1 airborne. Over.
Hello, Chopper 1. Receiving you, strength 5. Over.
Hello, Control. Chopper 1 on net. Receiving you, strength 5. Over.
Report position. Over.
Airborne over Sidcup. New Cross, Sydenham. I'm on net to all 3 cars. No sign of Fox yet. Over.
Fox will break cover soon. Probably on A2 or A20. Car 1 will give a location as soon as he can. Cars 2 and 3 will operate to Chopper 2. Out.
It's the second turning on the right, Ivan. Slow down, you'll miss it.
Where are we making for?
There is a small village half a mile off the road called Hamborn. Beyond that, Hamborn Wood and Hamborn Common. Turn here.
Is that where we are making for?
That is our destination.
What happens when we get there?
I have made suitable arrangements.
Hello, Car 1. Fox has turned. Very minor road, a mile short of Ainsford, heading south. Over.
Roger.
If Car 3 pulls his finger out, he can get ahead of him and block the earth at the other end. Over.
Hello, Chopper 1. You get on with your job and leave us to do ours. Out.
This should do very well.
Where do we go from here?
Nowhere.
What do you mean?
This is as far as we go. Keep your hand away from your pocket. My driver behind you has a gun and is very expert with it. So, no sudden movements. They might be misinterpreted.
I don't understand.
It is not very difficult. Our masters have decided that your weapon is far too dangerous. In their revolutionary past, they would have welcomed it as they welcomed all weapons of destruction. The bomb, the sniper's rifle, the silenced pistol. Now, as you may have noticed, their views are changing. They are interested in maintaining the status quo, and this weapon is a grave threat to the status quo. It and you have to pay the penalty of too great success.
What shall we do with him?
That ditch.
A car is coming, and another from the other side.
Then I suggest you put the pistol in his hand. Wipe the handle first.
Alexis, show it off.
You have the advantage of me.
I'm Commander Oldroyd of the Special Branch. Who's this?
This is, was, the self-christened Comte de la Jarige, real name unknown, a minor agent whom my government dismissed some years ago. Today he forced us at gunpoint to help him to escape. When we would go no farther, he shot himself.
I expect you'll be able to explain to the court how he shot himself in the back.
There will be no explanations to any court. I shall claim complete diplomatic privilege.
In Black Light by Michael Gilbert, Brigadier Partridge was played by Colin Gordon and Commander Oldroyd by Edward Kelsey. Michael Templeton, William Edel, Laura Templeton, Catherine Parr, the Count, Gerald Cross, Colonel Sholitoff, Ronald Herdman, Brian Fairfax, Brian Hewlett, Major Crawshaw, David March, Professor Reynolds, John Ruddock, Chief Superintendent Nicholas, David Goodison, the Home Secretary, Simon Lack, Sergeant Major O'Farrell, Leonard Fenton, Geordie, Nigel Anthony, Tony, Sandra Payne, Professor Gauss, Michael Kilgarith, Mr. Justice Bullimore, Martin Friend, Sir James Flint, Leslie Heritage, Leopold Black, Douglas Blackwell. The many other parts were played by Geoffrey Beavers, Robin Brown, and John Rowe, and the play was produced by Charles LaFoe.